And welcome to Dare to Disagree, ladies and gentlemen, your weekly episodic podcast. Regular folks, go ahead and tell exactly what you need to do with your life to make it perfect and fantastic. I'll be your host today, Jonathan Ester out of California.
And this is the only other host right now, or guest, Puppetmaster. And like always, it's none of your business where I'm at, although you should really only listen to me because everyone else is full of shit.
I actually can't argue with that, to be quite honest. I can't legitimately argue with it. You have your shit together pretty good. So it's not a bad idea, folks. Anyway, we might or might not be joined by Cold Conscience. Odds are he is out trying his damnness to conclude the saga he has with whatever the day may bring. For those who don't know that saga, tune into Why Repent, our sister, brother, cousin, uncle network.
The dirty little stepchild.
You can follow the saga of him trying to conquer his fears and bed one girl over the course of months on that podcast. But anyway, today we're also not joined by Alone in the Dark, who, as I mentioned in the comments, is on mission for the U.S. Catching El Chapo. So either that, or he's having an issue with Muslims right now. I'm not sure. One of those two is tangentially true. One of those two
they're
statements,
all top secret missions.
one of those two statements is actually not an exaggeration, believe it or not. But anyway, I had a simple topic, and I already kind of briefed our dear friend here a little bit about it. And my topic this week, we're going to sidestep the Islamic boy clock bomb. We'll talk about that later when more of the crew is here. But this week, I'll keep it light. My topic is about ladies and gentlemen. Now, what I mean by that is we all know what a gentleman is supposed to be, quote unquote. It differs from person to person. And what a lady is supposed to be, quote unquote, it differs from person to person. Now, obviously, for me, she needs to be a lady on the streets and a freak in the bed. That goes without saying. I take all my cues on what ladies should be from hip hop videos.
And that nice like plug right there. I like that. That was good.
Thank you.
So
I try.
I will go with a question first.
Oh wow, okay.
What do you consider being a gentleman? That's the question, because that ultimately decides what the answer to your question is.
It is funny you asked that. So I went to a nice little website called The Independent. It's one of those like life websites if you want to go find information about life, to go check out what exactly are the rules of being a gentleman. Now, there's some basic ones we're going to cover, like, opening car doors and, putting a cloak on the ground in front of a puddle and letting a lady go first, stuff like that. We're gonna hit them all, but I figured we'd hit the lists first, since they're more linear, and then whatever we feel they might have skipped, we'll hit it in the end. So
okay,
I'm going to start off with the first on the list, which is be courteous to others always. So but these are rules of being a gentleman. So let's see. Let's go. Be courteous always. We can agree on that. Avoid expletive language. Yada, yada, yada. Be chivalrous. Okay, so here's the first one I'm going to put there. So being chivalrous, it means holding the door open for others. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, do you think in this day and age when women and men are supposed to be 100% equal, where do you stand on holding the door for others?
All right. Well, here's the deal. I hold the door for everybody, not just women. All right. It's a courteous thing. If I get to the door, there's people right behind me, I open the door and I let them go in. I'm there. To me, it's rude to open the door, let the door go when that person is maybe 2 feet behind me. Does that make sense?
All right. See, that was gonna be.
Yeah, to me, that's not a gentleman. To women, that's just being a courteous person.
Courteous, right? Yeah. Because I was gonna say, what's the point of that anymore? But you answered it when you were like, if they're directly behind me, I'm not I'm not gonna let the door slam in their face and have them reopen it. I'll just hold it open. Then they can, when they get, usually what I do is when they get and grab it, then I let it go. You know, just like
Which
just being nice.
depends.
Like,
It depends on the situation and where you're at, whether that's the thing that I would do. I mean, or who the individual is. So if we're talking it's little kids or an old lady, women I do, but for dudes normally, yeah, I just yeah, I'll hold it open long enough for them to get their hands on it, and I'll keep going. But it
right.
all depends also what mood I'm in too. You know,
Oh,
if I'm
true.
in a if I'm pissy, yeah, you probably just gonna get me long enough to hold that door open for you, till you get your hands on it, and I'm gonna roll. But
Like
if I'm
one of those
generally in a
things.
happy mood, yeah, if I'm generally in a happy mood, you know what? I'm gonna hold that door, and I may hold that door for the person who's not quite behind me, who might be 10, 15 feet behind me, and I hold it. Hey man, go ahead. And generally they speed up because they don't want to be rude either. They don't want to wait. They don't want to make me wait for them, so they'll speed up to get in there. And it only costs me like a minute, a second or two out of my life to kind of help make their day a little bit. So I don't think that no, I don't think that that part is outdated at all. I think that that's a general courteous thing that should still happen.
Man, you're a way better man than me because I give you about 7 steps. Unless
Like
you're
I
like an
said,
old lady. That's literally old lady or old men are the only exception to me waiting longer. But if you're like a kid or a person of median age that seems to be able to walk fast or what, you have like 7 steps. After 7 steps, I can't guarantee I'm going to hold it. I might just let it
but
go.
see, here's my reasoning. All right, like I said, one, it has to do with attitude. Two, it has to do with the individual, who they are, sex, age, those things matter. The other thing is you have an opportunity, and this goes with everything we're probably going to talk about here. You have an opportunity to form a culture, to foster a positive environment. And if you pass that opportunity up just because you want to save an extra second out of your fucking day, um, maybe your priorities are just a little fucked up. Does that make sense? Did I lose you?
All
Oh,
right,
I
all right.
did.
I figured we yeah, no, you got me. You got me.
Okay.
I figured we would agree on that. But the second one is where it's going to get a little more tricky. So, surrendering your seat for a person. Now, we can all agree elderly, obviously, and disabled, obviously. That includes, when I say disabled, that includes pregnant. But for a woman, would you surrender your seat for a woman?
Just because she's a woman? No.
Correct. All right, what conditions would you surrender your seat under? Because I'm not gonna lie, I've been known to surrender my seat for, and I'm not saying I'm the best person in the world, for a pretty woman.
Uh,
It's gonna sound terrible, but I've done it before. I'm not saying I still do it, but I've done it in the past. So, is there a situation when you would surrender your seat for a woman right now, with no preference over a man? Just you would surrender it for a woman.
no. See, here's the thing. No. If I surrender my seat to a woman, is generally I would have done it for a man too at that point. Again, has something to do with the type of mood I'm in. Maybe I've been at work all day and I've been sitting down a lot, and I just don't, I really don't need to be sitting down. I'll get up, hey, you can have my seat. And generally they try and tell you, no, it's okay. And be like, no, really, I sit down way too much anyway. And I'll fucking do my shit. But, no, just because they're a woman, no. Pregnant women, yes.
Old
Physically
people, yeah, yeah.
disabled or, just old people in general. Uh, or if it's just me by myself and it's a family that has 2 kids, so there's 4 of them and there's not a whole lot of space to sit down, it's easier to maintain your kids, they're sitting in one spot. I will get up and allow their family to take that spot because I know what it's like to try and herd cats while it's pouring down rain. So just saying.
All right, all right. This one, I think you and I might agree on this too. Okay, on the curb, a lady doesn't get splashed if a car drives by.
Say that again.
So in the old days, a gentleman was supposed to walk on the curb, main part of the sidewalk, and you walk closest to the curb so that it's or anything came by and hit a puddle of water or hit rocks before the lady. Barring
Okay.
girls you know, would you do that?
Uh, yeah, that's a hard one because here's the deal with that. I personally put myself in between harm and everybody else on a regular basis. Even when simple as except for when I'm in restaurants, I have to be able to see the door. I can't have my back to the door. It's a paranoia thing. I just can't do it. So I'll put my wife there.
Yeah,
That
well,
way I can see the threat coming. That's a deal for me. But even at the
yeah.
house, like our bed, I have to sleep on the side of the bed that's closest to the door of the room. Um, for the sheer fact that if someone's in the house or someone comes into the room, I have first easy access to turn around and fuck them up. I don't want to have to crawl over my wife or my wife be the victim of a hostage situation because I wanted to sleep near the window. Um, but that's and I do that with planning bedrooms and what house I'm gonna rent. It's fucking weird, man. I'm like that, but that goes along with the same thing with yeah. I would with my kids. I do it with a strange old lady. I would do it with other guys. Probably not because you know what? Fuck them. They're on their own. But with kids and women, yeah, I would. That to me that is a big deal. Generally because I'm more aware of what's going on in my surroundings, so I put myself in a position where I could handle the possible threat when they're probably not paying attention to it at all. That makes sense.
It does. It does. I wouldn't do it, but it does. Now,
But
me, the reason
I
I
do it
wouldn't,
inadvertently. I don't even know I do it anymore. Shell points it out to me.
yeah, for me, it's definitely when I just I don't know. I think this is one of the few areas where I think men and women should be equal. So if
Well,
I'm
if we're
at
talking
a
about being
dangerous place
splashed
where
by a car that's driving by,
yeah,
that's a whole different story. No, fuck them.
yeah,
They were the dumbass that didn't think about the car coming when the puddle was there and got splashed. And no, fuck that. I got nice shoes on too, motherfucker. You know, but if it's an actual physical danger, yeah, I am that person that does that.
yeah, no. I mean, I'm not saying that if you see a sniper over the hill aiming at them, you don't push them out of the way. But I'm saying standing in the curb to protect over like trivial dangers like splash of water and stuff like that.
If there was a sniper, I might let them get shot. I might, and the reason for this is that
I was about to say,
I believe I'm fast enough that I can get to that motherfucker if I let him shoot a couple people and take his ass out. I believe that. I may be wrong, but just because if I get shot, who else is gonna fucking run up there and whoop this motherfucker's ass? That's my problem.
I
So
learned it.
I
I
might
learned a
grab
long time
somebody and
ago.
pull them in front of me so they can take that bullet. It won't be my wife or kids, but I will definitely grab a stranger and jerk him in the way and make him my bulletproof vest and then take off at a dead sprint. And that motherfucker better be scared if I get at a dead sprint because I'm like a bull in a china shop.
All right, so this one's going to be a little trickier. So we all know, based on your current response, that talking about a gentleman giving his jacket to a lady that feels cold, yeah, you would do that. You would do that. Now, here's the question:
No,
would
hold
you
on.
do the same for a? Oh, you wouldn't.
No, I would do it for my wife and kids and nobody else. I
Interesting.
would not give my
Why not?
jacket to another woman. Nope. Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because that's not my place. Does that sound weird?
Oh, is this a loyalty to your spouse type thing?
No, it's because I know my intentions aren't ill, but
Yeah.
the individual that I'm giving the jacket to may not know that, and I
Ah.
and I believe in self-preservation and avoiding situations. I believe that, and we talked about this before. Everything that happens in your life is 50% your fault, and that you can make
Yep.
decisions in your life that inevitably put you in situations you didn't see coming, but still doesn't change the fact that you put yourself in that position. I don't want
Gotcha.
to put myself in a position where this, and
It could
it
even
may be a hot ass girl. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, she's cold. I'm not thinking. You know what? Here, take the jacket. Next thing you know, she turn around. She's hitting on me. You know, one thing leads to another, and then you know, shit hits the storm because I just didn't have
yeah.
the guts to say, hey, you know what? Maybe this is a bad idea. So yeah, I avoid that whole opportunity, and just don't let it happen. Now, if it was an
I
old lady, that's different. If she turns
I
around and
can
hits on me, that's cute old lady just being a little perv, you know what I'm saying? But that's funny.
here, it's actually good thing. It's actually a good thing that you answered that question preemptively, because that was not the question. The question was, would you give your jacket to a man if he felt?
Fuck no, man. That's
Well, no. Now, we're saying this is not a homosexual thing of any sort. This is just a guy who feels kind of cold.
now. Here's the deal. When we say guy, we're talking about strangers, right?
You're not talking people we know, because people we know don't count in this situation. Obviously, this is
Right.
beyond. You know,
Because
you have
look,
an
man.
invested interest.
Hey, if we hanging out at the house, sitting out by fire, and you just happen to be fucking cold, hey, man, fucking jackets on the fucking on the
Yeah,
chair
yeah.
over there. You fuck grab that,
And
or you know, same
that,
thing for my brother-in-law, my
that's a homie
father-in-law. You
thing. That's
know,
a homie.
but yeah, a strange male. No, same reason I would. You know, just honestly, this day and age, half of that reason is just so they won't turn around and hit on me.
All right. That's fair enough.
Self-preservation, man.
That's. I can't argue with that. I see it. I see it. All right. Okay. I'm gonna package the next two together because I think they kind of come into the same category. A gentleman. One of the rules is a gentleman rises when she enters the room and adjusts her seat. Is this? We're talking again. Strangers. Do any of these things still matter? Things. My answer is just because I was raised that. So my question, number one, will be: would you do that for a stranger, a lady? Or two would be: would you do that for a stranger, a guy?
All right, here's the deal. A complete stranger, 100%,
Complete,
no ties,
100%.
no ties. This person whatsoever,
Just met
no
him.
chance in hell. All right,
All right.
and that is again, I believe in a personal bubble. All right, and I just might be entering into their personal bubble without knowing I'm doing it. Now, say for the first time I'm meeting your mom.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I would. But
Yeah.
that's your
Obviously, that's.
mom. You know what
Yeah.
I'm
We would
saying?
all. There's a connection there. Yeah. That's
But
why
if we're talking
these
complete
questions
strangers,
have to be complete strangers.
no. See, I will stand up, and if I'm being introduced to them and they were complete strangers, I will stand up, shake their hand, and I'll sit the fuck back down.
You know, I was actually about to say that. I was about to say the seating thing. As I said, I do it only because I was raised that way.
Yeah, I was
And
raised that way too, but I've evolved to the point where I just believe because I wouldn't want nobody fucking in my that close to me,
sitting
especially
here,
behind me. Especially behind me. The fact that you got to push your chair in me, push my chair in while I'm sitting in it. One, I'm a heavy motherfucker. All right, and two, you were standing way too close to me and behind me, and behind me is usually a bad situation.
all right, all right.
God, I
That's
sound like a
fair.
paranoid fuck, don't I?
All right, here's the person that doesn't want to get.
God,
Here's
man, wow. All right,
here's
go ahead. What's up? What's
a
next?
gentleman always pays
Um,
when at a bar. Includes loved ones. We're talking about acquaintance. If you are in as a guy with a girl that do you pay the whole? Do you feel obligated to pay the whole bill?
what's the situation again? You start cutting out on me a little bit.
This is this or someone you know as an acquaintance. These aren't people you know very well or you love.
Okay.
Or acquaintance. if the bill comes and you guys are out eating, you and the stranger, and do you feel compelled to pay the whole bill?
No.
That's interesting. Because you would
No,
think most dudes would be, right?
well, it depends. It depends on the situation. It depends on the individual. It depends on generally how much I even like that individual. Just because you're an acquaintance and I happen to be eating at a restaurant with you doesn't really mean I like you. I just might happen to have no option but to be there with you. Like if I was at a training conference or something and it was me and you rode there together and you know, you didn't really have a ride and I took you out to lunch because that's, you know, you've got to fucking eat. And we happen to go to Hooters or something and you fucking, nah, I may not like you that much.
See, this is
Nope.
why I wish Cole Conscience was here, because I wanted to ask him with this one, but I'll ask you, how do you, the bill comes to the table, you and bring it up? Do you just split the bill according to what you guys ate and just go, look, I ate? Or do you say, I'm going to pay for mine, you pay for yours?
I usually tell them right off
Do
the
you just
bat.
pay?
No, see, here's the deal. If they don't split the bill, which generally, well, it depends. It depends because sometimes when the bill comes, I'll tell them, hey, you know, fucking, we need to split this, and generally the other party already expects you to get it split. Paying for it is not really an expected thing anymore. So to think that that's an issue or to feel uncomfortable asking the server to split the bill is a non-point at this for me. I prefer that they don't split the bill right off the bat. I do. I prefer to have to ask because I like to give that person the opportunity throughout that meal to possibly change my mind to actually caring a little bit about who they are as an individual.
All right.
Does that make sense? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't trust you unless you give me a reason to. You know what I'm saying? So I'd like to give them at least the opportunity. I don't want to be that guy that doesn't trust anybody and refuses to open myself up to the opportunity of befriending new people. So is that weird?
All right. No, I think it's actually quite
But I'm not
level-headed.
against. I'm not against paying for it. I'm really not. I've paid for lots of people's meals. That's not even a question. It's just I don't go into a situation thinking I got to pay this bill. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I'm more of a situational guy. So I never broach the topic until the bill comes. And then at that point in time, I kind of roll the dice on how I'm going to play this. It has been very rare where I've made the other person pay. Like literally 9 times out of 10, the only thing that'll make me make the other person pay, guy or girl, is if it's blatantly obvious they're trying to get me to pay.
Right. Well, shit, when
like
me and you, my family and your family have to go out to eat, man, or when we go out to eat, we fight over who's paying that fucking bill. That's a fucking death match almost, man.
But it's the way it should be. It's the way it should be. It should be, you know, you're trying to help each other out. So for me, when I see someone blatantly, like I have a friend who's gone out, this is a girl who's gone out with the same guy a bunch of times. And every time she goes out, she'll come back and be like, again, that fucker didn't even try to reach for his wallet. Like, he just let me pay the whole thing. Now,
I won't let them pay my half. Like, I fight that tooth and nail.
Yeah, one side of me is like, that guy is a tool. You know, that's kind of terrible. But the other side of me is kind of like, you let him. I kind of think he's okay then. You know, it was completely within your power to stop him, and you didn't. So as much as I think he's a tool, man, I think he's okay.
Yeah, I have to sneak the bills usually. Like I'll actually like towards the end of dinner because I usually eat pretty fast anyway. So after I'm done eating, I'll get up like I'm going to the bathroom and I'll go find the server and I'll give her my credit card and the bill won't ever come to the table. I
Gotcha.
do that a lot,
All right.
and
And
you should ignore that
I
I just said that because I think I just gave away how I end up paying for our food
I
sometimes.
know. I know now. I was all right. This is the final question. Final question,
All
and
right,
I'm done on this topic. Um, the final question is this: is it okay for a girl to hit on a guy first?
absolutely.
I'm still surprised at how much of a point of contention this actually is for some people.
Hell no, they should be. You know what? Here's the deal. You don't know what you're missing if you've let me rephrase this. How are you going to give yourself the best opportunity to meet someone that you're actually 100% compatible with, which is very rare? If you're not if you just literally depend on men to hit on you, how is a female
Gotcha.
supposed to look for what she's interested in if her pool of people to pick from are only people that hit on her?
I'm gonna agree with you, but I'm going to admit I've had a hypocritical moment here.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when and it freaked me out.
Oh, I love it.
I might have,
Which is why I don't
but
give my coat to females and give them my seat, and yeah, I love it,
no,
and I
this
know
is
that I
this
love it.
is this was before all of that. This was before I was ever with the missus. Just the way the girl hit on me too, because it
She
was
came
one of
up
those
like,
things where
"You gonna give
I
me
was
that dick, right?"
dude. You can get to that. She was on the other side of the street. I'm walking down the street. She's walking down the other way, and she goes, "Hey, hey!" And I'm like, "What? That can't possibly be directed at me by a girl." So I turn and I look at her, and she's like, "Come here." I'm like, what? Like, you kind of cute. Come here. I walked so fast the other way because I was like, am I gonna get jumped? Like, what planet is it? You know, if I was a guy who had like been told handsome, yeah, sure, I'd walk across that street. But that is not the case.
Yeah,
On the scale
you
of
know,
1 to 10 on the handsome meter, I barely hit the 3.
the only time
So
I've ever been caught off guard to the point where I was uncomfortable was it was a work environment, and you know where I'm at as far as hierarchy uh
yeah.
in my particular type of work. And this particular female, black female, outranked or had a higher position than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's talking to me, and she was like, "You married?" And I was like, "Yep." She's like, "Happily?" And I was like,
That's an interesting question.
whoa, wow, yeah, yeah. Actually, I'm
Yes,
very happily
yes.
married. This
Couldn't be
is
happier.
this is awkward. so so then I walk away, and I was like, oh wow, that just happened, right? So then I was talking to one of the people I work with about it, and they were like, oh yeah, you know what? Let me talk to her real quick because it was another black female that I was working with, and so
Yeah.
she ran down there. And she came back. She was like, oh honey, she thinks you're hot. That ain't no question, but it ain't for her. She's done with men. Not that she likes women. She just done in general with people because that's just how this older black female was. She just not tolerant of people anymore. She's like, but she has this daughter that she really trying to hook up with a nice young white man. And I was like, oh shit.
even crazy. You know what's actually funny? I've had that happen.
Oh
I
man.
just said that, and that just reminded me of a different story. I've had that
Yep.
exactly happen. Like I've had somebody sit me down and go like, what are you doing? How's everything? Yada yada yada. Hey, do you know I have a daughter? Like she's a real nice girl. Yada. And in the middle of the conversation from them, I realized it went from them telling me about their daughter to them selling me their daughter. Like
Damn.
if you've ever reached when that speech flips,
Yep.
when they start showing you all and no negatives, and you're like,
Yep. Yep. No, I
Okay,
agree,
I'll
man.
just excuse
But
myself.
but no, here's the deal. I got 2 daughters, and I got 3 sisters, and yeah, I believe that they should find the type of person that has the qualities that they're interested in the most efficient way, and I'm a very efficient person. Most efficient way of doing that is to go get it yourself.
Yeah, I was about to
So
say, would you sell your kids? I don't know. I
no,
would.
no, 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 not that part. But we're going back to the women hitting on men thing, right? So
Yeah.
I would encourage my daughters not to hit on them like hit on them, but to get what they want. I mean, if you like a
Yeah.
certain type of gentleman, you know what? Go get that gentleman.
Talk to him. Yeah,
Talk
talk to
to
him.
him. You got to,
Don't
because
wait
if
for him
you
to talk
don't,
to you.
he may never talk to you just because he didn't. Maybe that's not what he's thinking about at that moment. Maybe he's involved in a different thought process at that moment to
Or
recognize what's
even
around him. You just never
or
know. And
even
if
more
he's that
tragic.
professional, then that is the exact type of guy that I want my daughter to fucking be around, and not the guy who instantly looks around, sees a girl, and like, man, I'm gonna fuck that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, even more tragic. You should talk to them because this guy might be actually like you and be too terrified to talk to you first.
Absolutely. So yeah,
You
I
know?
would say that it's a good thing this day and age that women are taking it upon themselves to try and interact with the type of male they actually want, and not the assholes that just happen to be the hard dicks walking around trying to get a piece of ass, because those are the ones that give women the reputation of, well, girls ain't like assholes. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. I like this topic. It's funny. It's pretty good. Now, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to give you my impression of what Mike would say about all this. All right. So,
Sure, cool
so
conscience. Go
yeah,
ahead.
cool. So here's how it goes. Look, man. Here. Hell no. I don't hold a door for no bitch. Fucking, I don't pay for food. She better pay for my food. And yeah, she better hit on me. She better be more hit on me. She better rub my dick while she at it. Fucking have my babies in her mouth. You know. Then she better get the fuck up
Actually,
out of here.
you be quite close to the. I don't think cold conscience would disagree with that with that analogy at all.
Oh man! All right.
God damn.
Oh shit! Oh, I'm in tears over here. That was good.
I'm on that one. That's terrible. All right, look, I got you got any parting shots?
Yeah. Here's the deal. Don't give up being gentlemen. Just reassess what a gentleman really is. That's simple. That's my parting shot.
My parting shot is simple. Fucking fair play. All about fair play. Just try to be fair. You're not always gonna win, but as long as you try to be
Oh, I'm
fair.
a firm believer that turnabout's fair play. You got to give what you get. That's simple.
That's all this. All right. Well, that's been the show. We kept it short this week because it was just 2 of us. We didn't really have that many topics, but next week, topics coming down the pipeline. So tune in. And you gotta.
Sorry, I cut out, man. Sorry. This is Puppetmaster. I enjoyed this one-on-one with a white man and a black man discussing what a true gentleman is, and bitches, and I just
yeah.
bitches.
Whatever thing they bring.
Like I said before, this is I don't know what to say, man. Fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah, this simple one. All right. Next week.
Yep.